Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I am honored to have this co-host with me tonight. One of my very best friends, George Lugo, very famous psychic medium. George, welcome. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. Boy, that's wonderful. Can't wait to get into this one. It's going to be a good one.
I know. This is going to be one of our very top shows. I just know it. I feel it because we have the amazing Edd Edwards, who you introduced me to, 2 years ago already it's been? My goodness.
Yeah,
and
at least
Edd,
that.
Yes, at least. And you told me all about him and what happened when you were down in Florida and met him. We're going to have to go through that little story because that's amazing. And Edd has with him tonight his energy partner, Lihi Introp. And when they join forces, look out, everybody. I've experienced this myself. You are going to feel the power tonight because Edd and Lihi are going to demonstrate what they can do for all of you in the audience. So get ready. It is going to be very exciting. And I also just want to say, PK, we all hope you feel better. We know you're recovering at home, and you'd love to be with us, and hopefully you're listening so that you can get some of this great energy from Edd and Lihi tonight. So we hope you feel better, and we hope you're listening in. And I also wanted to announce a couple things. One thing is we have a workshop coming up. It is in shamanic divination and diagnostic techniques. Candle reading specifically. And this is being taught by shaman Itzhak Berry. He's actually going to be in the area teaching at Kripalu, and he's going to do a day-long workshop with all of us in the Hilltown area. It's going to be on Saturday, November 16th from 11 to 6. It's going to be held at the Pyramid at Blossom Center in Middlefield, Massachusetts. So that is on the Supernatural Girls Facebook page. You can also send me a message or send me an email if you need more information. We have about 14 spaces left, and then it's going to be closed. So if this is something you want to do and you're going to be nearby, I highly recommend it. Itzhak's been on the show several times. He's a very powerful shaman, and he has agreed to come and teach us what he knows. So we're very excited to have him here in November. And if you need mediumship, then this man I'm talking with right here, George Lugo, is the man you need to get in touch with because he is an amazing psychic medium. And you know, we've had George on the show many times. Every time is an adventure. And George, I have to say, of everybody we know, you are the best of the best. So people can get a hold of you at your website, right? Which website do you want to use? I know you've got a couple of them.
Yes, crystalgatereadings.com or george@crystalgatereadings.com.
Super. So they can book a session with you, and if you need some guidance and you want to talk to George and have George talk to the dearly departed, he can do that, and he's excellent at it. So be sure to get a hold of George. And if you want something more on the counseling side, the coaching side, I do soul realignment readings, and I'm offering them at a very reduced rate right now as we start into the fall. So if you want some help with that and your manifestation plan, then just send me a message. Happy to schedule something with you. We can take it from there. So we have lots of paranormal news that's on our Facebook page. So be sure to go there, give us a like, follow us on Twitter, Supernatural Girls with a Z. And oh my goodness, tonight's show, George, are you ready? Did you fasten your seatbelt? I know, I just fastened mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hanging on to my chair here. So yeah.
Okay, so first and foremost, Edd Edwards. He's amazing. That's why we call him the amazing Edd Edwards. And he, as a child, learned that he could project energy in such a way that he could make people move without touching them and do other things that were rather embarrassing to these people. And we all laughed, but we didn't want him to be on the receiving end of that either. But he's a very powerful guy, and this is a gift he got from his grandmother. So he developed a technique of photon projection, and this can now help people heal themselves. Now, Edd has been tested at the Rhine Institute and more recently at the Monroe Institute down in Virginia. And that's where Research Coordinator Ross Dunseath discovered that both Edd and his energy partner, Lihi Introp, were able to increase their own voltage significantly. So we're going to get into the research. We're going to get into how both Edd and Lihi do what they do, and then they're going to give us two experiences of the power that they have. This is going to be a great show. If you have any questions, you can call in, and the number to call in is 563-999-3539. That's 563-999-3539. Okay, let's get these people on. Edd and Lihi, welcome to the show.
Hey, great to be here again.
And thank you for having us.
And we
it is a pleasure.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's our pleasure. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you guys met? Because this is an unusual situation. I mean, here you are. Edd, you're from Georgia, and Lihi, you're from New York City. So how did this happen? How did you get to meet each other?
Well, as you know, I'm being filmed in a documentary about my life story and the research I had been going through up to date. And I was in New York City back in June at my producer's place. And a friend of hers and mine, and happened to be a friend of Lihi's, invited me and Lihi, not knowing that we'd be meeting or anything, to this lecture on a lady was doing that was called The New Human. And so our friend Alan Steinfeld invited us to that. He was kind of promoting it, putting it on, and he wanted me to get on stage and do my energy during the opening ceremony to it, which I did. And then I just kind of pulled off onto the side. And there was about 40 people in there in a small area, in an area known as Tribeca, New York. And so we was in there, and then the lady started talking and stuff. I was, not that, I was interested, but not that much interested. So I kind of went in the back of the room and was sitting there with the kids. They were back there playing on their little cell phone and smartphones and stuff. So I just whipped out my iPad and went to playing around with them, except I was doing my science stuff. But I don't know why, but my intuition told me to stick around to there. And I started picking up on this energy like I'm part of. And I looked up on the ceiling, and I could see these like flames on the ceiling. It's like about a 16-foot ceiling in there. And it's just like a campfire would be burning on the ground up in front. You couldn't see the fire, but you could see the reflections on the tree limbs. Well, I was seeing that kind of like energetic flickering there. And that kind of got my attention, and I wasn't sure what it was and or who or anything. And then when the talk broke up, everybody was kind of standing around, and Alan was standing there and a few others and stuff, and different people were talking about we're just all going up the street to a restaurant and you're going to kind of hang out. But as I was standing there, Lihi and her friend walked by me, and when she walked by me about 3 foot away from me or 4 foot away, I felt that gravity wave like I've been able to produce on your radio show in the past. I felt
wow.
wall of energy gave me a shove, and I turned around. I couldn't tell which one it came out of. And then they walked out of the building. The moment they walked out of the building, it's like somebody turned all the lights off in there. It just went cold inside there. And I just bolted right through the door and started following up the street, looking at whatever, trying to figure out where it was coming from. I knew it was coming from one of them. And so we went into this Mexican restaurant where we all had agreed to eat. And I just followed the energy. And when we got back toward the long table, Lihi pulled off to the right, and that other girl went off the left, and the energy yanked me over to the right. And so I just went over there and sat down right beside her and just sat there, and I could feel it. It was just humming all through my body and everything. And so I looked over at her and I said, do you know you've got all kind of energy and energy abilities? And she said she was aware of them, but she wasn't sure how or what to do with them. And I said, here, let me give you a quick little demonstration. And that started everything.
Wow. Now, I just have to stop you for a minute because we're getting some feedback from somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. Is there somebody in your area that's talking or on a phone or something? I'm getting a lot of interference.
I'm nice and clear over here.
You're nice and clear? Okay. Okay. I just wanted to... Okay, now it's gone. All right, good. I don't know. It's probably the high energy.
Yeah. Well, luckily you guys didn't spontaneous combust, after meeting each other with all that energy. So. Yeah,
wow. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt. We need to hear you. So, anyway, so then you gave a short demonstration, and Lihi, you were about to chime in with what happened.
Yeah, he looked at me, and when he looked at me, he goes, I know you. I know this energy signature. I've been looking for this. I gave up looking for it. He was just so in the know. And when he said that to me, we were looking at each other's eyes. I could just see infinity in there. And it was like he saw me. I was never seen the way I was seen over here. It was beyond. It was like he saw me in this little point, the little pinprick dot, and everything else was just passé. Whether it was anything that had to do with identity or anything that had to do with how I look, anything had to do with what I do, it was just like outside of this place. And the more I looked and the more he looked at me, it's like it just kept going. It became more and more intimate, if I would say that. And it was just so, I don't know, there was like a sense of freedom there. It was like meeting. It was like knowing the energy of somebody without even knowing the form. It didn't even matter anything from anything. We're sitting at this table where other people kept coming in. And as Ed and I were talking, or just not even talking, we're just being, everything just seemed to be just like, everything was just a chatter or just like was just outside of it. It's like I was just in a different zone, a different realm with him. Yeah. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, we created like our own little bubble in there. It was just us, and everything else was just kind of a little chatter on the outside, but yet it was a noisy restaurant. And,
So you both knew that this was something special that was happening.
I knew he was speaking to who I really am. You know what I mean? That's really what I knew, and it was amazing because he had this ability to actually even feel me and know me prior to even meeting me, and it felt so real. And it's like it just resonated totally. It wasn't even a question, this person's, exaggerating or making this up, or it's just, wanting to connect type of thing. It was nothing to do with that. And it was just a knowing. So right then and there, he was just so much in you were there, like ready to let go of everything in your life and just move with what is right here,
Yeah, I was just ready. I mean, this is the energy and all that I've been looking for most of my life. And it's the feminine side of my energy. You know, y'all have experienced what I can do many times in the past, but when she came on board, she's the power now. She smoothed out my rough edges and cranked up the juice, and now we're like 10 times what I was ever doing.
Well, thank you, Lihi. Good work. My goodness. Well, yes, I participated in your last, I think it was two sessions ago, when you were offering this to people that you knew to come in and experience it. And it was extremely powerful. I noticed right away that there was a huge change. And George, I'm very interested to see how you feel tonight, because you've experienced Edd by himself, and now I want to see what happens with you when you experience Edd and Lihi together, because I know you're very sensitive to energy. So,
well, let me tell you how I met Edd. I was doing a psychic fair, and I was off in the corner, and I don't fraternize with anyone. I kind of stay by myself. That way I can concentrate on the people that come to me. So I'm sitting there, and I'm working with a lady, and Edd is on the other side of this large banquet room, and he's in the corner. And I just sort of kind of noticed him out of the corner of my eyes. I didn't really pay attention. You know, I was focused on my stuff. All of a sudden, I felt like this wave of energy go right through me, and it didn't throw me off. I mean, my concentration was rock solid, but I just felt this really foreign body of energy that just traveled through me. And I went, whoa, somebody's doing something around here. And I looked up, and I had like 10 people over there swaying left to right, back and forward, but I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't really pay attention still. I was just kind of noticing the physical stuff. So I'm sitting there, and then I feel it again. It's kind of like a flutter of energy going through me. And I looked up, and Edd was looking right at me. He had his arms up, and he was moving his arms around. And I said, God, who is that guy? You know, so this went on for about an hour, I guess. But, you know, he was doing other things, but that's what I felt from him. So then I went over and introduced myself, and he was trying to tell me what he did. And he says, here, just stand over there. So I went and I stood, you know, I was probably about 20 feet back or so. And he put me through the whole thing, and it was absolutely amazing. So I know he's legitimate. I mean, I know he can really do what he says he can do. There's no doubt about it, because I had no idea who this guy was. And he was moving me around in my seat. I wonder what my client thought, you know, but yeah, it was, that's how I met him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty fun there watching that. I get that same effect out of everybody in person now, especially now that Lihi's come on board. I used to get 2 or 3 people I couldn't do that to, but we haven't had a single person now since she's plugged in with it.
Right.
We're having phenomenal effects on people. And
yeah, and that's what we want to have an experience of that, and then go into some of the research, because you have been heavily researched by the Rhine Institute and also now by the Monroe Institute, and Lihi has been a part of that with the Monroe Institute as well. So we want to find out a little bit more about that. But first, how about if you guys give us a demonstration of what this is that we're talking about, so the audience can feel it.
Okay. Would everybody that can in the audience please stand up for us? If you can't stand up, just sit there and be very aware. Okay. Now, just be very. I'm not going to give it away. We're just going to go ahead and start doing something, and y'all fill in the blanks of what you feel on your end there.
Okay, so George and I will continue to discuss this, so there's no dead air. Go ahead.
That's it. Here we go. We're turning it up.
Okay. So, everybody, just concentrate on what Lihi and Edd are sending out to you right now. Wow. George, you feeling that?
I'm feeling a little bit of warmth. Definitely.
I'm already swaying around the place, so everybody just keep focused on this while Edd and Lihi continue to ramp this up, because you're going to, I'm sure, feel quite a curve in the energy.
And the second The second time we do this tonight, it'll be much stronger. This will just get people prepped.
Okay, we're getting prepped.
Okay. Now I'm gonna crank it up, and I'm gonna push everybody backwards.
All right. Wow. Yep. I definitely went back. You went back? Okay.
Now I'm gonna reverse the polarity and pull forwards.
Okay. Got to be careful I don't knock my microphone over.
Yep. Okay. And then I'm going to just crank the electric field up, and this should feel nearly statically electric, like you're in a cocoon.
Yep, I can feel that going straight up above my head.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody got any aches and pains out there, y'all going to love this.
Yes.
And when me and Lihi do our healing activation rooms, you get a whole hour of this.
And it is great. I will testify to that right now. It was excellent.
All right. Now that was just a short, little quick thing. So now we can talk about how we got here.
Yeah. So that was terrific.
Everybody sit back down.
Oh, we're still pumping the energy.
And we're going to keep the energy flowing as we talk here.
That's great. Thank you. I know everybody will appreciate it. There's a lot of people tuning in tonight with their animals in the room because they have animals that aren't feeling well. So I told them make sure they're in the room with you tonight. There are people recovering from surgery, and they're tuning in tonight. So thank you for continuing the energy while you talk. So do tell us now about the research, because this is very important information.
Well, now, y'all know I've been in the studies for about 25 years now so far, and you knew my history. So then once me and Lihi met, then I had to go back to Georgia, but we were talking every day on the phone, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, and sometimes at night we'd talk for 2 or 3 hours into the wee hours of the morning. And we were just, kind of playing and moving the energy back and forth and back and forth. And I was, doing things and allowing her to pick up and then start mimicking these things. So we got kind of playful with it back and forth. And then about a week later, Ross got the copper wall array lab done finally there at the Monroe Institute. And he called me up there and said he had all the instruments in. Let's go take some data runs on me. And so I agreed, and I went, and when I was headed up there, I called Lihi up and told her what I was doing, and just out of the blue, something said, just invite her down. All she can do is say no. And I said, hey, you want to come down here and get tested with me and hang out? Because I know you got the energy in you. And she said, yeah.
Yay.
And I said, yeah, why not? I could finally see if, something that's actually evidence and
right.
proof. So I was very excited to go, and I told you the connection that I felt with Edd was just really unique and really pure. So I was just like, why not? Of course.
And so
that's right.
I went up there to the Monroe, and with Ross, and we did 2 or 3 days of data collecting, and then Lihi flew in, and I went up to the airport in Charlottesville and picked her up and brought her back down. And when I've got videos, I haven't released it yet. I guess we can now. We've gone public. I'll try to get them up and posted. But Lihi was standing in the copper wall array and all wired up and everything. When the voltage went over 20 volts DC there, I pulled my cell phone camera out and started filming that. So I've got her being filmed going on up to like 54 volts DC.
Wow.
Coming out of her.
Explain to us and people in the audience what that means. So what's the difference between what we were able to do and what a regular person is doing with the voltage?
Okay. Most people are only running about 0.3 volts in their body if they're good and healthy, and about a negative volts DC if they're dealing with any kind of medical problems or so. See, we're electrical beings, and your body requires this energy to operate the healing systems that are built in it. Now, with me and Lihi proving that we can run our voltages up, see, I was able to bring my voltage up just, kind of on the first runs up to over 70 volts DC. at a rate of 1 to 4 votes per minute, whereas Lihi was, just chiming in, but says it got up to like 1 vote per minute. But everybody else has been tested, including the new director of the Monroe Institute, have all only been in the single digits. I believe he got 3 votes and was able to go to 1, then to 2, to 3, whereas I went 1, 4, 8, 12, 16, and just kept climbing in there.
Wow.
And stuff.
So that's a very big difference.
A very big difference. And then at the same time, you've heard of random number generators. When me and Lihi each, even in the separate studies where she'd be in there and I would be away from it, or I'd be in there and they're away from it, or together, once we got our voltages up above about 25 to 30 volts DC, the random number generators started going non-random. And they started spitting out a whole ones or a whole bunch of O's. They got all the data. They're writing that all up in the reports. And the cosmic ray concentration equipment showed a huge increase in cosmic rays coming into the lab, coming into that area from the sun when we would get above 20 volts DC. So we were causing all kinds of effects in and around the lab and outside the lab and stuff. And so we did several different experiments doing that where we was constantly getting high voltages. So then Ross said, well, let's hook up somebody in here like that's hurting or in pain. Let's do a couple of people and then do a person over the telephone and see what we can get. So we did 2 different people, Ross being one of them. He had leg problems and things. And so we wired him up, and once me and Lihi started applying our power, he started out with a negative volt DC like everybody else. And when we started focusing on him, me on one side of him, Lihi on the other, his voltage jumped into the positive range and started climbing. And we got him up to about 14 or 15 volts DC there before we shut down. But his leg discoloration, and that's all wrote up in the report from TMI there. That cleared. Then we used this other lady, another staff member, which I don't think we can name names here like that, but a staff member from Monroe was having some type of aches and pains, and we put her between us, and she started off at negative 3 volts DC with her wired up, and about 5 minutes later of her being between me and Lihi, we brought her voltages up to over 20 volts DC, and she started just feeling real good and everything, and that's when also the random number generators started going out non-random. Once we got above 20 volts DC, we seemed to cause them to go non-random. Of course, they also have seen that effect with us in lower voltages, so we're not sure if that's connected or not. So we did her, and she had phenomenal recoveries from issues, and Ross has got that wrote up in the actual papers. And so then next we tried a long range. We had a person on Skype fed through the computer down into the lab that Ross knows. And so me and Lihi standing in the copper wall array, and I think were we both wired or you were wired up?
I was wired.
Yeah, Lihi was wired up, so I was using her as kind of the target, and this other lady on the telephone or on through Skype on the other end of the target. So once I started cranking Lihi's voltages up in her body, the woman that was in tune with us over the phone, and as the woman was on the phone with us, it started making her get real hot. It cleared up the brain fog in her head, and she just had a major turnaround all within about a 5-minute period. And this was both of us, focusing. So pretty much on the long range and the stuff like that, Lihi is like the power and the smoothing power. It really cranks my juice, and I'm kind of like the computer that controls all the function. And I'm like flying the ship, and she's the rocket engine, or so.
Oh, that's
so,
great.
Boom.
It's interesting you talk about. This is great. And also for everybody, go to our Facebook page, Supernatural Girls Facebook page. You will see Ross's report there, and you can read it. It is very, very interesting, and I know they're going to be doing other studies with you. But I wanted to mention something, and that is I wanted to bring in the work of Dr. Jerry Tennant, who is a medical doctor who totally agrees with you. In fact, he has created all these devices to help people who are ill bring their voltage back up because he feels like exactly how you do. If the voltage is low or negative, then they're in a diseased state. That all has to come up before they can heal. So at some point, both of you may want to reach out to Dr. Tennant. Again, he is of the same mind in terms of health and disease and how it really works, and that we are all, as you say, electrical beings. So this does not need, you don't need to be in front of somebody to do it. But when you are, do they feel that there's a larger impact when you both are in front of them? Because you did both. You did the Skype connection, and then you also had several people there. Was there a difference?
We haven't really noticed much difference other than just the personal touch. I can get a few different things to happen in person that are not as effective. Like when I'm taking neuropathy, I've got now to where I can make neuropathy clear up in people's feet in about 4 minutes by generating all this energy through my hands and running it through their feet, through their shoes. And if they're like totally numb or hands numb or anything, I can make it come back to where they get full feel in just, a few minutes.
That's tremendous because neuropathy is a very upsetting medical problem. A lot of people who have gone through chemotherapy end up with neuropathy, and it's very troubling, and it's much more uncomfortable than the name would imply. So I think that's great that you're both able to do that. Now, does it stick? Because I know sometimes people can feel better, but then they walk away and the next day it can come back. What are you finding with this?
I'm finding that it starts coming back there during our service, and then by tomorrow or the next day, they get the total feeling all the way back. And so I've been working with.
It keeps getting better.
Yeah, so I've got the opportunity to work with some neurosurgeons that have peripheral neuropathy, and so they are working out of a major university up in the Midwest where they're working on getting clinical trials set up for us. And,
okay. I know people are very excited
traction
about that. Yeah. Now, is this, you guys seem to have a very special innate gift. Do you feel everybody can do this or not?
Yeah, we're setting up. I've already posted a online class. I'm teaching everybody. See, everybody has a generator. There's no difference between me and Lihi and all the rest of you, other than what we're doing got conditioned out or turned off in all of you when you were about first or second grade. I was in preschool. I had friends that could do stuff, and we were playing with it, doing all kind of things. But by the time we got into the first and then second grade of school, they all quit because they got whoopings for playing with it because they said it was playing with the devil. And so it got more or less beat or taken away from everybody that way. But I had a grandmother that did hands-on healing, and she kept reaffirming everything in me until I got up, 5, 6 years old. And by the time I got 7 years old, I was playing with it like crazy and very mischievously, as you've heard. And that caused my brain to wire up differently than all the other kids. And so Ross's experiments with me, he studies us at the Monroe Institute, but he started studying me at the Division of Perceptual Studies at University of Virginia back in 2015. And then,
so, again, you've been studied for a long time. I keep hearing that. Am I the only one hearing that interference, or George, are you hearing it also?
No, I'm not hearing anything. It's clear.
No,
I guess I'm hearing double feedback. I hear it too.
Yeah, you hear it too. Okay.
It's coming from your end there, Patricia.
Coming from my end. We must have visitors at my end. This does happen sometimes.
Yeah,
George,
okay.
you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, turn it off. We're trying to have a conversation with Edd and Lihi here. You guys be quiet. Oh, jeez. Lihi, I got to ask you a question. And, Edd has discussed the fact that he's had an experience with little UFO beings. But what about you? Have you ever had an experience like that?
I've had dreams that that I was abducted, and that abduction felt so real. Like I don't remember any dream as vivid as I remember this dream, and it happened like 25 years ago. I don't even know how long, you know. So yes, I would have that dream where I was abducted, and it was almost like I had a relationship with them. It wasn't even that I was abducted. It was actually are you going to come? You know, it was, are you coming? Or are you staying here? And there was just I don't know, in this dream there was just a lot of chaos going here. Are you one of and it was, are you one of us or are you one of them? And, you know, and it was, what are you going to do? So, and then I've also seen, at times, shadows that, but it's not really a UFO experience, you know, that sense.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, though, that you did have dreams about them.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I do. I feel very connected to something. Oh, I've also had dreams where they're actually, they're all coming out. I've never been like a very scientific. You know, here Ed is extremely scientific. I'm not. I'm more in the spiritual, in the love, in the emotions, you know, that type of thing. But in these dreams, it wasn't. I didn't feel like it was me creating these dreams. They were so technical and so vivid and so. I'm like, wow, you know, where did this come from? You know, that's what I would feel. So one of the other dreams was when all these extraterrestrials were coming out of the spaceship. And they were just kind of coming, like running to me, you know what I mean? And it was just not even, it didn't even feel, it wasn't feeling like, oh, they're running from me, I have to run away. It was just, I still don't know what it meant, but again, another extremely vivid dream. So I know there's definitely, I think something is actually opening up everywhere, you know, universally as far as, extraterrestrials and UFO experiences. And the more we talk about it, the more people come out and say whatever they need to say, or say, oh, maybe that was what it was.
Right,
so,
exactly.
So I find it phenomenal to really be working with Ed now and doing this energy work, because as we're doing this energy work and we're transmitting this energy, we're actually like lifting the vibration, the frequency, you know what I mean? And I'll tell you from my experience with Ed, the more I spend this time, we've been talking, like he said, lots on the phone. We see each other when he's in New York. Now we're spending, about 3 days together. And even when we don't spend time together, there's always this connection. You know what I mean? There's a connection that's on other levels. So we have like a multidimensional connection. And with the energy that I kind of meet him in, we're sourcing from a pure place. He's like the pure masculine, and I'm the pure feminine. And at that at that place, there's nothing as far as emotions, like it's beyond this whole this whole realm here. So anyway, so when we raise that kind of vibration, and at times when I'm connecting with him, I sometimes feel more of a connection to that something could open up to these, ETs that could actually meet us on this level, because we're bringing in people on that vibration that are opening up so we can meet energetically.
And like I said, in our studies with Ross there, with me with that DOPS lab, I don't know if I told you, but they released a report from it that they had figured out that my brain is operating, because I've played with it my whole life, my brain's operating in all levels of consciousness all at the same time. Part of my brain's in alpha, another part's in beta, another's PKing in delta, another's PKing in theta, all at the same time. And that's how they somehow believe that that's what's causing us to be able to transmit this energy worldwide and do it in recorded radio and TV shows, to where the audience in the future can feel the same effects as those in the real time. So everybody will be able to go back and listen to your shows in the archives and take part in the experiments or the demonstrations we do here, and the same effects will happen to them, or even get stronger each time.
Because it's not a linear, it's quantum.
Yes.
Right, exactly. Well, this is so fascinating. You two are amazing in what you're exploring. You really are pioneers in this field, that's for sure. Well, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a very short commercial break. And George, I just muted you because I figured out that, guess what? All of that chatter was coming from your end. So I think your people on the other side are very excited about this. So in the meantime, during the commercial break, George, I'm going to ask you to just hang up and call back in. Maybe we can get rid of some of that chatter. But everybody else, you stay tuned. We'll be right back. You are listening to Supernatural Girls Radio.
Pure essential oils, specialized minerals, and a revolutionary anti-aging technology. Astridian combines the best of all scientifically proven ingredients in easy-to-use creams, lotions, and concentrated serums. Astridian's advanced line of products take your skin to a new level of being healthy and beautiful. We offer a variety of collections that address all your skin concerns. The Essential Anti-Aging Series treats and moisturizes your skin for a long-lasting, younger look. The Multivitamin Series promotes healthy skin with high-quality vitamins and minerals. The Sports Series restores skin from cellular damage and stress. Astridian also offers a revitalizing solution for hair and a professional series for doctors and medical spas. Visit astridian.love today and begin your new journey to healthy, beautiful, youthful skin. Astridian, beyond your expectations.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With cosmic fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless. Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion, www.kosmicfusion.com, to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Are you frustrated with endless mantras, affirmations, and processes that promise to align your life with your dreams, only to find yourself years later in the same space where you began? Do you feel like you must be doing something wrong because nothing seems to be working? Don't you just wish that someone could shift your consciousness for you and your life could align with your desires without all the effort? Well, your wish is about to come true. Hi, I'm Carrie Cannon, and I have a gift that allows me to align the consciousness of others to be in harmony with their dreams. The best part is, it requires no particular effort on your part. Upon listening to a consciousness alignment, people have reported instant energy shifts, financial windfalls, soulmate connections, healed relationships, physical healings, and more. To To gain access to a free trial offer for my entire Manifesting Miracles library of consciousness alignments, go to commandmiracles.com now for details. Again, that's commandmiracles.com for information about our free trial offer. That's commandmiracles.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I am waiting for my co-host to get back on with us. So, George, come on back. And we have terrific guests tonight. Oh, my God. We have the amazing Edd Edwards, and he is here with his energy partner, Lihi Introp, and they are just sharing so much great information about their research, how they met each other, and how they are going to share their energy with us again tonight. But before we go to another demonstration, tell us more about what you are imagining this going to next, because now you know you can raise your voltage, you can transfer the energy so that other people feel it. What's next?
Well, in my classes where I teach, I don't teach really by running my mouth. I just give some guidances and show you how to exercise your brain muscles, and then I'm teaching people how to restart their brain generators that got turned off when you was a little kid. If it hadn't got turned off, you would have naturally played with it growing up and learned how to do all kinds of things, but it got turned off in you. So I'm restarting your brain generator there in the first class, and then in the advanced classes, I teach self-healing, where you take that energy and run it through your body and cause your own systems to go to work like they're supposed to. See, the human's the only creature on this planet that refuses to be what they really is, or really are.
Yes.
And so
yes, that's true.
I bring you back to what you really are in the classes. Now, the adults, you're not going to probably get up to the level that me and Lihi are at. It'll take a lot of work to get there. But the children that we're doing this to, they're taking it and running with it. I can just hand the children what I'm doing and just give them just a tiny bit of guidance, and away they go. And they're teaching other kids now.
Yeah.
That's where we've really got to get this.
Right. Yeah, they're still in their pure state of consciousness where, where they're actually moldable, like not with all the fixed conditions and like adults take a lot more work, but children is where they're like so open to this and they're like sponges. Tell them about
Yeah, I've been working with autistic kids and others, and one I worked with up in Michigan somewhere 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, he just came out of the box in 30 minutes and started playing with the energy enough to where he could send it backwards into me. And now he in fact, I believe that a few nights ago when you were on that healing room with us, he was also in there. I referred to him by the name of Noah. And he's about 11 years old now, and you can feel him. He's doing really good. So the idea is to just get these kids everywhere we can back doing it while we're teaching the adults how to break down those barriers and restart the systems that they had when they were kids.
Okay.
So
now, Lihi, you're a social worker, and I wanted to ask you how you envision this new work that you're doing with Edd. How do you envision integrating that with your practice?
Well, first of all, by actually doing this energy work, whether somebody's, I work with people that have, more severe diagnoses like schizophrenia or diagnosed with bipolar, depression, and all different types of diagnoses. And I could tell you that many schizophrenics over the years, and when they're actually in a state where we call it as they're decompensating, they're having a psychotic break. But really, in a sense, I've seen these, a lot of them are accessing other dimensions, you know what I mean, or accessing other levels of consciousness and are not able to actually integrate it over here. And the system here is not set up in a way to actually, meet these individuals and have the knowledge base of it. So, so I basically also, just like with Ed, working with the autistic kid, you're actually meeting these individuals in an energetic connection that they actually feel familiar with in some ways. And where I see it, me coming, or the mental health system, playing a part of it, because we're still very much on this realm with people dealing with a lot of, we're still in a state or a paradigm that includes, emotions, with depression, with anger, with shame, guilt, blame, all these different things. But I what I envision is, as Ed and I, there's so much and there's so many different avenues to go. I know one of the places that's very dear to both of us is the children, because that's just very, very pure, and they will have the biggest impact. But besides that, yeah.
Yeah, but besides, I mean, when you talk about people with these serious diagnoses, and I agree with you. I think that there are a number of people who have these diagnoses and they are accessing other realms, and the difference is they can't tell the difference sometimes, or all the time, between these other realms and this one. So I would imagine that's where it gets very complicated very fast. Now, do you see that this work could help to set some boundaries for them between those other dimensions and this reality?
I think there would have to be knowledge to the doctors, whoever, the treating team, psychiatrists, therapists, everybody. There has to be education and openness and receptiveness to this in order to start treating these people that have these ailments. And not only that, we all carry different ailments, neuroses and stuff like that. But it's time for actually people getting the treating practitioners to get the education, so that when you meet with these patients, they're actually learning to actually bring their vibration up. If you want to call it that, where schizophrenics could be, I'm just stereotyping here, could have a higher frequency or higher vibration. And this way, if there's education on both sides, is where I see Ed and I coming into play, is that, hey, this is what's here and this is what's there. They're both happening. How do we integrate all that? And that's the key. How do we integrate that? But I believe with the like I told you, with the knowledge, and also with training, as far as my training, working with people that are still in the place where they're still anchored in very deeply in emotions. To still have, I mean, when I work with my clients, my private clients, I go exactly where they're at. You know what I mean? They could be, really, one moment they're really just here and they're just like I feel like they're like in quicksand. On the other hand, I'm working with them, meeting them exactly where they are. So I'm meeting them at any level that I can. And when I see a little opening or a little space, it's almost like it's a gift. I don't know. When I see a little space where I can go and actually bring their awareness, I kind of move into it, and they have the realization. You know what I mean? It's not for me to overshadow them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just so large. It's so vast. So I just see the more that I would love to see programs and children's foundations and more and different programs for the mental health field. I would love to see things. I would love to see that there. Mental and emotional and physical illness diminish phenomenally because of accessing other levels and opening your brain up to that, so that your whole nervous system could be integrated.
Yeah, we want to get the whole brain functioning again like it was intended to do. Y'all are, like I say, y'all are stuck in the 8 to 12% range of your brain operations, whereas me, Lihi, we haven't done it. Well, we have done a dual EEG study here at the Rhine about how long ago? About a month ago.
Yeah.
So after we did the Monroe study with Ross up there, then about 2 weeks later, I came over to the Rhine to do a dual EEG study with the biophoton lab and dual EEG in the same chamber with a lady that goes around the country and does them. And so our brains showed some phenomenal activity during that study, where we were syncing our brains and producing very high levels of biophotons in the bioenergy lab. And so we're going to have all that on the website here shortly.
Right, but do they know what that means?
Yeah, they'll read on it. We have it on the website there. I'll having more and more stuff on my eddedwards.com. And then here in the very near future, as soon as we get things worked out, we're going to have a new website, which will be about mine and Lihi's, everything that we're doing better. And then we can separate my old stuff with my website.
Yeah, I just wanted to add with the EEG studies, it was afterwards I came out. I mean, first of all, they were so excited. It was so beautiful to see. It was like the mapping of both of our brains. So we were actually, at one point, we were resonating together. At one point, he was sending me energy, and it showed all the different brain, like it showed my brain opened up, and you were actually sending all those.
Exactly, and increased the gamma like crazy through there. And just phenomenal effects we're getting in labs at the Rhine Center and at Monroe.
It was like a little dance. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Now, let me ask you, because I know I'm getting a lot of texts from people. They want to know a couple of things. Number one, how can they sign up for your classes? Where do they go to do that?
Go to my website, eddedwards.com, and that's EDDEDWARDS.com, and you'll see on a couple of pages back, I'm my own webmaster, and I had a little mess up because WordPress updated a bunch of stuff, and I still haven't got it quite straightened back. But if you'll go on the menu there to where it says classes, pay-per-view classes, let me pull it up, make sure I know what I can say in here. You go on my website there. And on the menu there button, go to where it says buyer, b.i.r.e.pay-per-view or PPV classes. And I've got a video class online there. And then if you go to the tab just before it, it says events, then that'll take you directly to our healing room there. And people can sign up and register and take our healings then. We've just posted one to happen like next Tuesday night.
This
coming Tuesday night from 7:30 to 9 o'clock, like the one you attended. And so we're going to be posting these things under the events on the web page there, and that's about our healing room. And then I got the first beginners class finally done, where it's on video on demand at the buyer pay-per-view classes. So one menu button says events to catch me and Lihi in the healing room. If anybody's aching, hurting, problems, or anything like that, they definitely would want to attend that. And then those that want to learn, go take that basic class, which is video on demand, so you can take it when you want to at your leisure to get your brain generator up and going. And then I'll be giving live classes where I'll give out a 50% coupon off for everybody that was registered on the video on demand classes by the email there, and they can attend the live stuff with me. And then the advanced classes that I'll be teaching, the advanced classes will include self-healing, healing of your animals, working with your family, children, and stuff, and then classes for practitioners like massage therapists and those that want to do this form of energy medicine. I have setting up the classes on to go further into that, and we've got another class there for working with medicinal plants, where instead of eating the plants, I show you how to resonate your energy and have your hands around the plant and instantly absorb the frequency through your body. You know, it's all these abilities.
That sounds so cool. Gosh, I like that. That is super cool.
And then one more or two more, like for the aging generations and stuff, and couples and things like that, we have this kind of like sexual rejuvenation class and stuff.
Boy, you've covered it all. Now, also, somebody just texted in. They want to know, what if they want a private session? Do you do private sessions?
Yes, I do. I do them through the donation button on the bottom of the page, and then I'm setting up where we're going to be joint. It'll be joint with me and Lihi on sessions, so they have their choices how they want to do it. When it's joined, I have to work out the timing with her because she has regular business. I'm just still doing my thing. And so I have to work with her programming, and then you can have the private sessions with me there, and just make a donation and then do in the message thing, just give me some times and phone numbers to try to get you on, and then you'll get my number. The last 4 digits will be 7481.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering those questions, because everybody wanted to know about all of those things. And I know that you guys are also the focus of some television that'll be upcoming, and we will post that as that information becomes available and is ready for distribution. So we will let everybody know when they can turn on their television set and watch both of you and learn more, even more about what you have been doing in the labs, because it's fascinating. And to see this actually be able to be researched and to produce evidence that you're both doing something quite different than the rest of us is just phenomenal. Now, I know, Ed, you rarely get sick. Lihi, what about you? Do you also rarely get sick?
Rarely. I don't really get sick. And I know that if I ever got sick, I remember many years ago getting something, and I knew that it was me not being aligned. There was just something. I knew what was happening, and it just showed up in illness. Now I haven't been sick, and I don't even know. I don't really get sick. That's the way it is.
And did you have a grandparent or somebody like Ed did who had a gift? Is somebody in your lineage who also did this kind of thing?
Israel. Yeah.
Let me talk about it.
She's asking you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I was born in Israel, and there's something in that space or in that place that really is very holy to me. And
yeah, let me go back into my history a little bit about Grandma having a little bit of Cherokee in her and everything. And once I started looking about doing the Institute, I went tracing back through the Cherokee language, the Cherokee history and stuff, and I stumbled across some writings from the Cherokees transferred to the House of Congress libraries in 1880. And they were talking about this group of light-skinned Indians that come up into the mountains, the Smoky Mountains, in around 400 A.D. They migrated up there from an island off in the South Atlantic because other warring nations kept attacking them because they were scared of them. They had these same abilities like I have, where, great healings, energy healings, and then being able to play with the forces of nature, kind of like I did for them moonshine bootleggers and stuff.
Right.
And so these Indians were wrote up in the Cherokee writings. I've got some of it wrote up in through my website, where people can follow the links back into the libraries for the Cherokee. But these Indians were on that island, and when they left that island in about 400 A.D., they split up into about 6 or 7 different groups. So part of them came up into my mountains, another group went to Mongolia, another group into South America, another group toward Africa, and another toward Israel, to Egypt up there. And this energy that I pick up in Lihi, I know has got to be part of the original tribe. And so I'm like a descendant of that tribe, and so she is too, but she come from Israel, whereas I come from the Smoky Mountains, Appalachian Mountains.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. So you feel like you're both from the same original tribe.
Yes. Yeah. This energy feels very ancient.
I've never felt this energy, and it's an energy. It's like a chemistry equation that's actually, if I could use my mind from here, it's extremely, extremely advanced. I've met so many different, chemistry and connections in my life, but this is the most. Every connection is unique, but but this is the most advanced and the most the purest.
Yeah.
It's just this knowing. It's not even It's like everything that those research experiments were actually. It was like I already knew, but it just gave it that evidence that it's. Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're just blowing their mind. And what we're doing
are.
And like I say, with us resonating our energies together, it's just like the whole side of the equation. You got your masculine and you got your feminine. It's like the positive and the negative pole on a battery.
It's like being one. I mean, there's a time where I don't know where I end and where he begins. It just becomes.
It's infinity.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I don't want to oneness, but it's just one. Actually, it's like two, the masculine and the feminine being one. It's not even, the words actually don't do it justice. It actually is not really what I'm trying to describe, but it's just.
Yeah, it's like we're having she's one side of the brain and I'm the other side of the brain, and as we come and resonate together, we form one being.
It's the whole brain structure, yeah.
Yeah, because there is a vastness about your energy that I'm sensing. I'm going to bring George back on. I had him muted because I think that the noise is coming from him. But George, you're back on now with a live mic. So I wanted to know from you, George, do you sense the same thing I do? I mean, I'm sensing a vastness about the energy. Is that what you're getting to? Tell us more about what you sense.
Well, I just feel like it's very tangible between them, what's going on. And, yeah, definitely. I mean, this is like the beginning of a huge thing that you guys are doing, and you'll probably go down in history for it, I'm sure of it, the both of you. And it's, it's more than a friendship. It's a real knowing of each other without knowing each other. It's just a thing that was meant to be, it's time. And you guys are doing it. Yeah, don't you feel that? I mean, I really feel like it's your time, and you guys are doing fantastic work. I mean, it's amazing. So, real cutting edge. It's even beyond the cutting edge. I mean, science is going to have to catch up with you guys once you guys get total mainstream. Watch what happens. You got a real bright future for the healing of this earth. Yeah, absolutely.
We're pulling together a lot of real serious MDs and people that are into finding new ways and stuff. And so now we're showing. I mean, we can walk into a lab and do stuff under command everywhere we go at now.
And I just feel the more that we actually transmit this energy, and the more that people are experiencing it, the more it's going to be spread, through interconnectedness, through consciousness. Right. And that's what actually thrills me. That's what that's what really excites me is the when I'm seeing people, I'm seeing the unlimited becoming. It's like a oof.
Yeah,
I'm always seeing everything at the point that it is and beyond. And when it goes beyond, I'm like, as a whole or as a collective, I'm just like, shh, and every time that's it's on a global level.
Yes, it sure is.
I kind of feel like how mankind, it went from the what do you call it? The I can't think of the word. The medieval days into the Renaissance. There's always a couple of people or a person that pushes it over the hump, and we get into the next phase. And like right now, and Einstein was another one that did it, and you guys seem to be in the healing, energetic healing type of stuff. You're just really up there, and you're going to push everything over the edge as far as medical healing and energetic healing and just all the healing. I mean, I know that our medical field is sort of limited, quite limited in a lot of ways, and they just learn what they learn in school, and that's it. But you guys are going to teach these physicians or a new type of doctor how to do this, and it's going to be phenomenal. You guys are real, like you guys are being grandfathered in right now, So watch, it's going to be an amazing, the next 10 years for you guys. Watch, you'll be looking back at these days as the dark days. You guys are going to be great. So
that's great.
It's going to be fun.
So cool.
Really fun when we get about 500-600 children doing it all over the place.
That's right. Mm-hmm. A whole generation, a whole new breed of human.
I probably shouldn't tell them about my mischievous days. I don't know.
They may figure it out themselves. They may figure it out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But your mischievous days, they were really done in an innocent way. I mean, you never did anything maliciously, and that was very clear. It was just being a kid and having this ability, and it was fun. And you should at least share a story or two so that people who haven't heard it before can hear some of the fun you had with this.
Yeah, but you know what? He's still mischievous. He hasn't lost it.
Get out. What are you doing? Let's hear.
Who, me? I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, you.
Y'all can't see.
What are you doing?
No, it's all innocence. All innocence.
Yeah.
All beauty.
Yeah, have a lot of fun with it, and that's what I teach people.
We play with it. We actually do play with it.
You know, Ed, I got to tell you something. Remember you gave a talk up on stage for that group that I met you through?
Yeah.
There was a guy sitting 2 people down from me, and he was sleeping through it. And when you said, hey, I need a volunteer who wants to come up here, and I woke him up really fast. I said, get up, he's calling you. And he goes like, what's going on? I said, just get up there. And so he went up there, and you started doing all of this stuff. And, the big surprise happened, and he comes back, and he goes, I don't know what got into me or got out of me, but I just couldn't help myself. I said, yeah, you got to bring it, Edd Edwards. And he's like, why did I do that? He couldn't believe it.
Yep,
But
that's
he
how
was
it happened.
Yeah.
He was sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, that's
We still
really,
talk about it. We still laugh over it. Yeah. So.
Well, there is fun you can have with this stuff. But I have another question, because a lot of the things that you've been doing with your energy and being studied at the Rhine Institute and the Monroe Institute, it's been revolving around physical healing. What about when you use your energy to help people become more enlightened? Is that something that you've also done? That you've helped them become aware on another level?
Oh, yeah. See, when I teach my classes, I don't teach by running my mouth. I turn the juice on, let you feel the stimulations in your brain, what your brain should be doing. And I do it a few times for you, and you start doing it. So you just wake right up. You just start locking into what you really are then. You know, I could talk till I'm blue in my face, but I'm not ever going to explain to you what working mechanisms it takes to make your brain do like I'm doing and generating power. So I just go do it for you several times and then show you some exercises so that you keep it going.
That makes a lot of sense, because you're absolutely right. A lot of these things can't be translated into words, and then you can't really learn from that. So that's a really smart way to work with people so that they understand and can actually use this stuff. So that's great. So this is remarkable. I mean, it's remarkable you found each other, that you're so in tune and in unison when it comes to helping people. And it's certainly exciting for all of us that have been watching this develop over the last few years. I mean, we were introduced to you from George. Thank you, George. And every time, Ed, you've been on the show, it's been a much more powerful experience. And now with Lihi involved, it is like quadruple what it was before. So how about another longer demonstration for everybody so they can continue to feel this? Does that sound okay to you guys?
That sounds good.
That's wonderful.
Y'all fill in the blank airspace there, and we'll get the juice started.
All right, let's juice it up.
Well, we're gonna, so Ed and I are going to be resonating right now. We're going to be resonating and coming into accessing our energy from source.
And then this time, while ago, I was projecting it out at everybody. So now I'm going to resonate mine up and feed it into Lihi and let her push it out.
Let's raise it.
Okay.
We're just revving it up right now.
Together.
And y'all tell us what you feel there.
I'm feeling like a little bit of a rocket ship. How about you, George?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Definitely feeling it.
It's going to get stronger and stronger, because I'm feeling stronger and stronger. All right.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Wow.
I'm feeling like my energy is elongating.
And then she's projecting.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the audience who's listening and tuning into this, we're only talking not to disturb your experience, but so that we don't have dead air and people think that we've disappeared off the air. We are still here. We're not trying to interrupt your experience, and we're going to let Edd and Lihi continue to amp this up so that you feel all of the power of the photons that they are working with right now in your bodies and your minds and your spirit. allow that energy to just flow wherever it needs to go to help you in your life.
Okay, let me get a hold of them here, and I'm going to go ahead and send energy in a way that most of you are going to feel different little sensations happen inside your brain. So I'm going to just kind of like go through them all real quick. Here we go. Here's one. Here's two. Here's three. Here's four. And here's five. Okay, were you able to feel different sections of your brain respond this then?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I felt like a little bit of like a little energy bang in one spot, and I felt like a little flutter in another spot. Yeah, I can feel it.
Correct. That's how I teach this stuff. Except I got to do a lot more of it in, certain ways to get people to fully understand.
So you're actually awakening different areas of the brain and having people get tuned into it energetically.
Correct. And so when you get your brain generators restarted, then you supply power to those areas that I just activated for you right then.
I understand. That's great.
Yeah, this is tremendous.
I felt like you guys were like lightning bugs. I can just feel it in my head. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now
this
I'm feeding
great.
it right straight in. I'm feeding it straight to Lihi now, and she's going to add her side of it, the feminine side.
Okay, we are ready. And this is a different sense of energy, isn't it, George?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm feeling it differently as well.
So now everybody's getting the feminine side.
Pumped by the masculine.
Pumped up by the masculine, yeah.
Like it's a chance, movement.
And, this is healing in and of itself, just seeing the masculine and feeling the masculine and feminine working together and being supportive. I mean, think about how we all do need that in our lives rather than being oppositional. This is a healing on so many levels.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you recognize that because it's there isn't there we Ed and I actually operate in equality. So there's nothing that's going to come into play from how it's how things are here, polarity or right, you should or you shouldn't, or this is the way or that's the way, or coming from need or expectation. It's just that we're just here. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I mean, there's just it's just operating from another level and kind of meeting it down here, and that's where I see the new paradigm of relationships. I would love to see more of that, more of raising the vibration between the dynamic between two people who found love and don't know how to sustain it in this way. So
exactly.
See us like
exactly.
Huge.
That's very powerful. Very powerful.
What's interesting to me is that you both have a different feel. Like Ed, like when you were doing things in my brain, I could feel like little spots doing different things, and it felt like little sparks of light. And then Healy, when you did it, it seemed like almost like a thicker granite, real stable charge. I don't know how to explain it exactly. If I was to put it in that color, it's almost like a more dense feeling. So that whole masculine and feminine thing is almost like flipped in a sense, And like
it's almost what? I didn't hear the word you said. It's
flipped.
Flipped, yes.
Oh, like it flipped, yeah. Your energy has got this really dense, grounded, stable, thick, heavy sort of like. It feels really, really good, but it's just really different. It's like little sparks of light, and yours is like really grounded. It's amazing.
Hey,
I've been throwing light here since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
It's just different. I mean, I get different responses with the feminine. People say it's smoother. People say I think that also with Ed and I, we're actually always kind of moving with each other, but it's always in resonance and always
it's in harmony. It's in harmony. But just for a moment there, you guys kind of split your fields, and I just kind of went, I can feel that. I can see it as well as feel it. And you both have this, you guys complement each other perfectly. I mean, you guys fit together really perfect. It's seamless. It's really good. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And this is something, this is an energy that's very special for the two of you, but isn't this something that everybody would like to feel with their partner, to be able to feel that kind of supportive, seamless connection. Yes. So that's what we're missing. We're really missing that, I think, in our society today. So you're able to model that as well as demonstrate it and then share it energetically, which is great. But I have another question, and I'm going to take this in another direction. I know you're still sending us energy. So everybody in the audience, we're going to keep talking, but I know you're still receiving energy from both Edd and Lihi. I would think this would have a tremendous application with people in comas.
Oh, yeah, it sure does. Yeah, I can just kind of
you're activating the brain. Right. So I know you've been busy traveling and doing things with the institutes, but do you have any plans to work with comatose patients? Because, again, I just see you as so capable of being able to reach in and wake up the people who are lying in those beds for years and years.
Yeah, do all kinds of stuff like that. And just wake them up, stimulate them, bring them back to life. There's connections there.
Yeah,
right.
You've got the ability to do that.
We're open to all kinds of research. We just can't walk in there and say, "Hey, can we do this with them?"
right. I know. It'd be great. It'd be great if you just walked in and woke everybody up.
Yeah. Use the intercom.
It would be like a movie, It would be great. But I just see that as a really viable way of using your energy. And, again, something that should be not just research, but just something you should do. I mean, I like research. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. But I like what works better.
Yeah,
and this is
practicality.
This is what works. So I think go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
No, I said I just had a vision of these people that are in comas, and almost like what came through to me is almost they're in a coma because they can't live in this reality anymore. And it's like they just kind of for whatever reason, they're in that space or that state. And I had a vision of just like, wow, because you're bringing in something really beautiful. Like I said, the energy that I'm resonating with Edd has so many different avenues. It's like, where does my heart go towards, But when you were talking about these comas, but when you were talking about these comatose people, it's like, wow, my heart just opened up to that, because it's like you can, if Edd and I, or this kind of energy can actually bring them an awareness to come back and to just be here. I don't know, I just saw it as coming back to another vibration. Just something kind of resonated beautifully with what you said.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I hope you'll be able to pursue that, because I did know, and I still know, somebody who was actually one of the original animal communicators. And I've known her for many, many years. And she was able to do that. She was able to reach in to where these people were stuck, or they had retreated or whatever due to trauma and injury. And she was able to reach them and bring them back. So, and she did that by herself. So I can only imagine what you two can do when it comes to this kind of thing. So I do encourage you to see if you can work with doctors and clinics where these patients, I mean, gosh, they have nothing to lose by having you come in and do this work with them. So again, this is a great energy system. It's non-invasive. It's there's no liability here. You're not touching anybody even. You're just doing what you do with your energy, which is tremendous.
We're just sharing pure source, basically.
There was a man in Tucson that I met who was in a coma for a year, at the hospital there at the university, and he had this gift or ability to just, he was like non-responsive. He was breathing on his own and all that, but he was just out, and for about a year. And so he would just like snap, just open up his mouth and go, code, what's the emergency code? Code 8 or code 10 or something. Anyway, he would say code blue. That's what it was. He said code blue, West Wing, room 234, and then just go back into his coma. And about 10 seconds later, all the alarms would go off in that room on another wing of the hospital. And he was like 100%. So they had a nurse stay with him 24/7, just to listen for whenever there was going to be an emergency in the hospital. And their success rate of helping people went way up. So,
incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I also got to tell you that your faithful dog Sanji stepped aside for your new life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of, but he would have been around, I believe, 5 more years. Everybody would have been welcome.
Yeah, we could have all been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said of energy shift. Yeah.
So it was an energy shift. Mhm.
Yeah. So I know you guys very much.
So Lihi is a great partner in this and a great traveling partner.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're continuing to go. It's almost like we know. It's almost like we know each other. I told you I know him. He knows me. We know each other. And when he says to me, it's like, I know who you are. We just know each other. But really, we're still trying to kind of find ourselves in this place, like this little playground of life. Like, okay, how do we, how do we make all this stuff? Like, let's kind of make sense out of this. I mean, we're here. I feel like we're here in a mission. I mean, even beyond the identities of Lihi and Edd, you know what I mean? Like we're coming from somewhere else, bringing it down here. What I am here as an identity is
we want to pull everybody that's here in the 8 to 12%, one conscious level at a time, up to our levels so that you can be what the human's supposed to be. You should be using all them levels of consciousness in your heads. You should be operating at about 90%. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're teaching, and that's what we're showing. You have everything built into you that you could ever imagine you could ever need.
And imagine that being coming into manifestation. I mean, I see it as a place of love. You know what I mean? Because if you're functioning on all those levels, it's like, it's multidimensional, and it's just love here in human form, or heaven here on human form. Heaven on earth.
Well, it's really nice and beyond nice. It's incredible what you guys are offering. And I want to encourage people to go to your website, go to your Facebook page, and if you want an hour experience of this kind of energy, then be sure to sign up for the next healing experience with Edd and Lihi. And I can tell you, it is quite something when it's going on for an entire hour. It's very, very powerful. And things change, things happen. And it also helps, I think, to have a focus on what you want to accomplish from that hour. So if you have some goals for energy healing in your body, or consciousness, enlightenment, whatever, then it's good to have those kind of in your mind and also be open to accepting that or something even better so that you can have, again, an enhanced life. Because this is what you guys are talking about, is everybody can have an enhanced life. We can all have so much more in terms of our awareness, consciousness, connection, relationship. It's all here for us. It's just that we've been taken off path by whatever we encountered when we were kids, and now you guys are here to help us find our way home, huh?
Correct. We're going to bring you back into the light.
Great.
All of us.
Oh, my gosh.
All of
yes, all of us. How much happier we would all be. Yes, this is great. Well, I hope you both will come back, and it has been an absolute pleasure having you here with us for this entire evening. I know our audience has been texting in. They've been really enjoying this conversation as well as the 2 demonstrations that you were generous enough to do for everybody tonight. And George, I want to thank you especially because you were so kind to come on to the show. Really enjoyed having you co-host with me. Thank you so much. And again, everybody, you can find George at crystalgatehealing.com. That's right, is it? Did I say it right?
Crystalgate Readings.
Reading, sorry. To me, it's all healing.
Readings.
Okay. crystalgatereadings.com. Okay, everybody. Yep. We will be back next week with another exciting show. And until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural Girls.
Hello.
Hey.
Are you there? Hey.
I'm here.
Hey.
I'm here.
Good.
Hey, great job, George.
Well, thank you. Well, yeah, you too. I couldn't figure out what you were hearing over here. I couldn't find it. I was looking all over the place.
You know, it was weird because it sounded like there was all this chatter going on. When I put you on mute, it went away, so I knew it was coming from your side. And then when you called back in the last time, it wasn't there anymore, but it started up, and then I put you back on mute, and then when I took you off mute, it was gone. It sounded like somebody was having a conversation behind our conversation. It was weird. So,
wow, you know what? That's happened before in this room, in my office. People will tell me that sometimes. They go, do you hear that talking? Do you hear that? And we're like, no, I'm not hearing anything. You know, they'll hear, I guess it's spirits or whatever. I mean, they're seeing me live and they're hearing it. So you picked up on it.
Yeah, because I heard it loud and clear, and it was kind of interfering, and so that's why I put you on mute. But I'm going to listen to the recording to see if it showed up in the recording. But it was very loud. It was loud. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't like just a little buzz in the background. It was an actual conversation taking place.
Wow, maybe you can make out what they're saying. I don't know. Usually you can't.
It's almost like a television playing in the background. That was what it was like.
Oh, no. There's no television. There's no radio. There's no nothing. Everything is
I know.
silent.
Now, are you on your phone or were you on your computer with your microphone?
On my phone.
You just on your phone. So, there's nothing that's interfering.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It had to have been them.
Oh.
You know, that's all I can say.
I know they can be so annoying sometimes, but so that's why I had to ask you to call back in. But you did a great job tonight. You were super. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you. No, it's always wonderful. So it was nice to listen to what I have a better idea now of what they're about and all of that. You know, so that's pretty cool.
Me too. Yeah, because this is the first time I've ever really had a chance to talk to Lihi. So. Now I understand a little bit more about what they're up to. That's good.
What's her last name?
Introp. Introp. INTROP.
Introp. Wow, what an interesting name. You know what I kept thinking?
Born in Israel.
That's what I thought. I said, this woman is half Puerto Rican, half Jewish, or something like that. I don't know what other
I thought so too. I know. I was surprised when she said Israeli, but she said she was born in Israel, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that real strong from her.
I did. Yeah, she's lovely.
You know?
So, she's very nice. Very nice. So, anyways, I'll probably have them back on, and as I mentioned, I was trying to get the researcher on, but I couldn't track him down in time. But we'll try to get him on next time because sometimes it helps to balance it to have the researcher talking about what they found. So, but you did great, and I can't thank you enough for doing such a great job. It was a lot of fun with you tonight.
It was a lot of fun. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. You
Talk to
take
you
care,
later.
Ed. Say hi to Serafina for me.
Will do. Say hi to Kim.
Okay, bye.
He's
I will.
going to go, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, George.